Now then, may we have our next contestants, please? Will you come in? Just have yourself a seat and make yourself at home, and we'll find out who you are and where you're from. Obviously, we'll start with the lady first.
I'm Mrs. Claire Valentine, Oceanside, California.
This is Mrs. Valentine, as opposed to Mr. Ballantyne, who was in the first spot, and they're no relation. Your name, sir?
I'm Bill Hartley from Oceanside, California.
Now, panel, I can tell you that Bill Hartley here is Mrs. Valentine's golf pro. And with that little help, Mr. Hartley, will you tee off by whispering your part of your secret to me while we show it at the same time to our audience at home? Uh-huh. All right, very interesting. Now, Mrs. Valentine, will you whisper your part of the secret to me? Hey! That is...
That's not all.
Oh, that's not all. There's more. Oh! Fantastic. Panel, the clue to these contestants' secret concerns something they each did, and we didn't get to you at all last time, Bess, so we'll start with you this time.
All right. Mrs. Valentine, are you a relatively new pupil of Bill's?
Yes.
And did you do something very unusual during your first lesson or one of your first lessons?
No.
Oh, no? But you did something very unusual.
I guess so.
Yes, I would say she did, yeah.
I mean, would golfers who've been playing for 20 years be very jealous of what you did?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, no. I thought maybe it was a hole-in-one on your first time out. Did you hurt Bill in any way? Or hit him with...
No.
Oh, good. I want you to clear that up, too.
Thank you, Bess. We've lost 20. We've got 60 to go, and Bill Cullen is at bat.
Mrs. Valentine, does it have anything to do with your score?
Yes.
Does it also have something to do with Mr. Hartley's score?
No.
Would I be looking for the largeness of your score? Did you have a particularly high score?
Yes, I guess you could say so.
Rather a little on the high side.
Is this for the full 18 holes, Miss Valentine?
No.
One hole?
$40 down, $40 to go. What was your question, Bill?
Was it a score for one hole, I wondered?
Well, I'm afraid that they have more or less have gotten the answer. Let's go right to it. As I told you before, Bill Hartley is Mrs. Valentine's golf pro, and he is a man of great courage as well as ability, because his part of the secret is that he gave Mrs. Valentine 8 weeks of golf lessons. Now, 8 weeks is not too much, as you golfers know. And Mrs. Valentine's part of the secret is that on her very first day on the course, she shot a 56 on the first hole. 56 on the first hole.
Garry?
Mrs. Valentine, you are amazing. Mr. Hartley, you are courageous indeed to come here and face the results of your teaching. Bess has her hand up. Yes, Bess?
Well, only that Mrs. Valentine has comforted both Betsy and myself.
What?
I said that Mrs. Valentine has comforted both you and myself.
No. I'm not 56 on one hole.
Well,
No, I'm like 45 on
All
one.
right. 48, 40.
Yes, but she's been taking lessons. Betsy has too. Do you remember Mrs. Valentine as a pupil?
Yes, Gary. She was in one of my group classes of 35 women.
Oh, you taught 35 at one time, huh? How did in this group of 35? How did she do?
She was 35th.
She was 35th. Well, what would you say as a pro? As a pro now, what were her main problems?
Well, actually taking up golf, Gary.
Yes, Betsy.
I'd like to know, Mrs. Valentine, did you take up golf because you wanted to or because your husband forced you to?
Well, my husband liked the idea.
You see,
That's always the way. And then when she doesn't do quite as well as she might, he'd be the first one to make fun.
That's right.
Isn't that the way husbands are? Well, you know, there isn't everybody who can score 56 on one hole, so I think we ought to go and examine her strategy, not stroke by stroke, but see how the thing went in general. Forgive us for going first, Mrs. Valentine. Now, we have here a chart of the first hole, which is a par 5, 507 yards, at what golf course?
That's at the Marine Memorial Golf Course, Camp Pendleton, California.
All right. Now, this is, as you can see, is a very difficult hole, because from the tee to the green is a straight line. You see, right there, you're in trouble. It's a straight line. But now let's take it from the beginning. Here you are up on the tee. Now, how many strokes did it take you to get off the tee?
Oh, about 3.
About 3. But she was good. Once she connected, she landed out here, about 10 yards. And then, still using, now she had changed over to a 3-wood, you see. And she is nothing if not different, because this is roughly the way her course went. Of course, it was not all that distance in one shot, because that runs up to 30 yards or something, you know. But like a stroke here and a stroke here and a stroke here, and so forth. And I'll just follow the dotted line, still using her 3-wood. This is the way she went. Well, you know, she liked to take the scenic route. And she very adroitly missed this sand trap completely. And then to show how very brave she was, how she likes to flirt with danger, she came over here, see, brinksmanship. Didn't go in the trap, see? Now still using her 3-wood, she took a mighty swing and stopped there for a while. Then had a little siesta there, and then there, and then there, and then she started having bad luck. Things started going bad there because here she got into the bushes, you see. Now, as any good golfer knows, you cannot get out of the bushes with a 3-wood, right?
No.
So she bravely put away the 3-wood and she took a 5-iron, a much easier club, and landed further up into the bushes. But being intrepid at all times, in only 8 strokes, she got out of those bushes and over and into this sand trap right here. Now, Mrs. Valentine, how many strokes did it take you to get out of the sand trap?
Well, I don't know the strokes, but it was about half hour.
You see, you think you're so high hat going to Jamaica? She spent almost a week in the sand trap. You know? And then, isn't she nice to take all this ribbing? And then, all right, she was there, and after a half an hour, she bravely fought her way onto the green. And how many putts did it take you to get down from there?
Oh, I believe it was 7.
7 putts. You were closing on it all time, so. It is marvelous. We figured it out, and it comes out averages to 10 yards a shot. And also, what did we figure our handicap would be? 207 or something like that. 208 would be her handicap. But now let me say this. There are not many novice golfers who can say this. She finished with the same ball she started with. She did not lose the ball. It never got far enough away from her so she could lose. She could see it at all times. Miss Valentine, how did you feel about Bill being out there on the course with you? Was he helpful?
Oh, yes. He's a very good instructor.
Uh-huh. What did he do for your morale while you were out there?
Well, I'll tell you, without him, I'd be pretty dangerous, I guess.
Yes, you would. Oh, and by the way, are you still playing golf?
No, I was rather discouraged. I took up bowling.
To go bowling? Oh, that's much better. Now, how's your score in bowling?
Well, as my husband said, if I could golf my bowling score, bowl my golfing score, I'd be a champ.
You'd be in great shape. Well, we're something of a champ anyhow. Thank you very much for being with us, Mrs. Valentine, and thank you, Bill Hartley. Good night.